McScrooge, with Bob Gallico, Seán McCarthy, and Henry O'Donovan. The snow fell silently, gliding gently like feathers onto long sombre rows of soot-blackened chimney stacks in Dublin's fair city. It was Christmas Eve, and down along Leeson Street there shone, flickering poorly within the windows of a terraced Georgian house, one tiny lamp, its flame intermittent and jittery in the evening darkness. On a brass plaque outside were etched the curious names Messrs. Marley and McScrooge, solicitors. Though his partner Jacob Marley was 7 years dead, Ebenezer McScrooge hadn't bothered to change the old signage, and so the partnership name remained, just like it was when Marley was alive. There he leaned, hunched over his ledgers like a feeding insect, Ebenezer McScrooge, a wheezing, wrenching, grasping, rasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old git. His mean lips curled thinly in distaste at the pages before him, their numbers and figures barely distinguishable in the light. His twisted eyeballs squinting up against the light of that one damn candle. His voice rasping and harsh, like the work boots of a digger on gravel.
Ah, for feck's sake, will yez ever get these books in order, man? These figures and numbers don't add up. This is atrocious. Extremely disconcerting, so it is. Well, what have you got to say for yourself, Cratchit?
I'm sorry, Mr. McScrooge. I was certain to have checked them thrice.
Thrice? Thrice? Now you listen to me, Cratchit. I don't pay you to sit there day in and day out to have to turn around and redo everything you've supposedly done. You're one step from the doghouse, Cratchit, so be forewarned. One more feck up and you'll be joining Endless Kids on the breadline. Do you hear me?
Yes, Mr. McScrooge. I'm sorry, and it won't happen again.
Damn right it won't happen again. 'Cause if it does, it'll be a lifetime of austerity measures for you, Cratchit. Now I'll get back to work. It's only 8 o'clock, and these books better be right within the hour, or you can forget about your day off tomorrow.
But tomorrow's Christmas Day, Mr. McScrooge. You said I could take it off.
I said, get back to work, Cratchit, before I change my mind completely. Now the devil can that be? Who is it? Calling at me at this godforsaken hour.
Merry Christmas, Uncle McScrooge. It's me, your nephew Fred, come to wish you a Merry Christmas and a...
Oh, please, spare me the hocus pocus, will you? Christmas? Humbug. Good riddance to the lot of it, I say. Crackers to Christmas.
Oh, but Uncle McScrooge, you don't mean that, I'm sure.
And what reason have you to be merry? You're as poor as dirt, so you are.
Well, what reason have you to be so miserable? You're rich enough, aren't you?
Humbug! What's Christmas to you but a time to find yourself 1 year farther down the road to the poorhouse? Every idiot that I hear on the street outside with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding.
Now I know you don't mean that.
Now you just keep your Christmas to yourself and leave me out of it. On your bike now. This is a place of business.
Now don't be mean, Uncle McScrooge. Come dine with us tomorrow for Christmas Day.
No. Now off with you, you blithering young fool.
But Caroline will be delighted to see you.
Why did you ever get married? Seems like an awful waste of resources, if you ask me.
Because I fell in love.
Love? Ha! Now that's the only thing in the world more ridiculous than Merry Christmas. Good evening, Fred.
Well, I'm truly sorry to find you like this. Merry Christmas, Cratchit.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Cratchit, let me hear another sound from you, and you'll be keeping your Christmas by losing your situation.
Oh. I'm sorry.
I suppose you'll be wanting the whole day off tomorrow, Cratchit.
If that's convenient, sir.
Well, it's not convenient.
But it's only 1 day in the entire year, sir.
A poor excuse to pick the pocket of your employer every 25th of December. You'd better be here bright and early next morning, Cratchit.
I will, sir. And a Merry Christmas to you, Mr. McScrooge.
Ah, go on now. Off with ye.
Bye now.
Christmas. Nonsense. Humbug.
Dublin was alive with music, and the joy of Christmas Eve spilled out onto the busy city streets. McScrooge sat alone at the back of a dreary cafe, eating his usual dinner, a bowl of lukewarm chicken soup and a slice and a half of wheat bread. After reading his newspaper, he then went home to bed. McScrooge lived in a basement room on Fitzwilliam Street, the former flat of his former business partner Marley, now dead these past 7 years. The flat was bone-chilling cold, and McScrooge fumbled on his knees with frozen hands to light a match on the open grate. If only he could get the damn thing to flame.
Bloody Nora. You don't make matches the way they used to.
Suddenly there was a loud crashing sound. McScrooge spun around. There, in the centre of his room, stood the ghost of his former old partner, Marley, gaunt and pale, and ferociously crisscrossed with painful chains and weights and spikes. He clunked and clanked, and with great effort and exhaustion, raised his pointed finger out towards a frightened McScrooge.
Ebenezer McScrooge.
Oh no. What do you want of me?
Much. Who are ye? In my life I was your partner, Jacob Marley. You don't believe in me?
I don't know.
But why doubt your senses?
Because you might be like an upset stomach, which could make me senses cheat me. You might be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a fragment of underdone potato. Humbug, I tell you, humbug.
Silence!
Mercy on me, dreadful apparition.
Now, do you believe in me or not?
I do. But why do you come to haunt me? And why do you wear that hideous chain?
I made it, link be link, in my lifetime, and just as you yourself are now doing in your days on earth. And I'm here tonight to warn you of a fate such as mine. But Ebenezer, if you change your ways, you still have a chance of escaping my doom.
Sure, you're always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I roam. Expect the first of your hauntings tomorrow, McScrooge, when the bell tolls 1. Expect the next on the following night at the same hour, and the third on the next night, when the last stroke at 12 has ceased to vibrate.
Couldn't I take them all at once? Have it over with?
Look to see me no more, and remember what has passed between us.
The apparition vanished, and McScrooge feebly rose from his slump in a chair. He waved his arm out in front of him, checking to see that Marley was indeed gone. McScrooge tried desperately to say humbug to the strange haunting, but the word stuck in his throat, unuttered. McScrooge crawled into bed, not even undressing, and fell asleep for the night. A few hours later, the chime sounded 1 o'clock. McScrooge jumped straight up in his bed. At the foot of his bed stood a tall ghost.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are ye?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What business brings you here?
Your welfare. I have things to show you, which are the shadow of the things that have been. Rise now, and walk with me.
The ghost of Christmas past led McScrooge down a road which he had forgotten about for so many years. He showed McScrooge a Christmas day in the past, which was a happy one for most children, but not for one lonely schoolboy who sat alone in a classroom, fingering through his books with sadness.
Ebenezer McScrooge, do you know that boy?
Yes, I do. It's I, the boy. Oh, I remember that Christmas well. It felt so lonely. Me playmates, they didn't like me.
It was because you had shunned them.
Oh, poor boy. I wish...
What is the matter?
There was a boy singing a Christmas carol on the street last night. I should have liked to have given him something. That's all.
Shall I show you another Christmas 40 years ago when a fair young girl released you from your marriage contract?
No.
Because she had discovered that you had ceased to love her.
No.
Your greed, avarice, and desire for wealth had killed the love that she had for you.
No, Spirit. Show me no more. Leave me. Haunt me no longer.
Awakening in the middle of a hectic nightmare and sitting up in bed to get his thoughts together, McScrooge had no occasion to be warned that the chime on his clock was again upon the stroke of 1.
McScrooge? I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon my face. Yes, Spirit. Conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learned a lesson, which is working now. Tonight, if you have anything to teach me, let me profit by it. Touch my robe. As you wish. Look now, McScrooge.
McScrooge gazed at a vision that appeared before him of family life. It was the Cratchit household, and Caroline Cratchit was setting a table with her children. It was Christmas morning, and everyone was busy placing cutlery on a crisp tablecloth.
But he has hardly a penny to his name. I, the ghost of Christmas present, have blessed his house. Here comes Bob now with another member of his family, Tiny Tim.
And sure enough, McScrooge could see, within the vision, Bob Cratchit coming into the room with a little boy on his shoulders, a child with a deformed leg, holding a makeshift crutch under his tired and feeble little arm. Bob Cratchit lifted Tiny Tim into a chair at the table and then turned to his wife. There was to be no turkey this year, nor any gifts for the children, but they had each other, and Bob Cratchit was thankful for that.
See what a happy family your clerk has, even though you only pay him 15 bob a week. Shame on you, McScrooge, shame on you. Oh, poor family. And poor Tiny Tim. I didn't know he was sick. And a cripple.
Okay, family, let's raise our glasses now to Mr. McScrooge for all he's done for us this year.
McScrooge, that mean old git. Are you out of your mind, are you? I wouldn't raise an eyelid to that miserable old fecker if it's the last thing I do.
Ah, come on now, Caroline, it's Christmas, and we must celebrate the fortune we have, be it ever so little. Sure, if it wasn't for Mr. McScrooge, we'd be destitute.
Oh, very well, I suppose just this once. But I'm raising a glass for you, Bob, and not for that tight-fisted weasel.
Come on now, let's drink to Mr. McScrooge. Merry Christmas to one and all.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to one and all.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Merry Christmas to one and all. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Hip, hip, hooray. Merry
Absolutely
Christmas
wonderful.
to one and all.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Raise your glass there, will you?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Hip, hip, hooray. Yes, indeedy.
Tell me, Tiny Tim, will he live? I see a vacant seat and a little crutch without an owner. Oh no, say he will be spared. My visit here to Earth is very brief and ends tonight. Tonight. My time is coming to an end as your third spirit prepares to appear before you. You must be the ghost of Christmas yet to come. It is you, the ghost of the future, that I fear the most. But lead on. I want to know.
The ghost of Christmas yet to come beckoned to McScrooge to follow him down a long dark hallway, at the end of which stood a door. The door silently opened, revealing the Cratchit family once more. Yet this time, all the members of the family were there, except Tiny Tim. Caroline Cratchit held a little crutch, the one that once belonged to her poor little son.
If you must torment me, be quick. Show me what is yet to come, so that I may know my fate.
The ghost of Christmas yet to come brought McScrooge to a graveyard where there lay a stone-cold tomb. Upon the grave was carved the name Ebenezer McScrooge.
No, hear me. I am not the man I was. I yet may change the shadows you've shown me. I will honour Christmas in me heart and try to keep the spirit throughout the year. Tell me I may carve away the name upon this stone. Please, I will change.
McScrooge looked at his feet, then at his knees, and then around the room. He was alone. All alone. The spirit had gone now, and a smile quickly filled his face.
Marley? Marley? Jacob Marley? Heaven and Christmas time be praised. For the remainder of my days here, I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirit of all three shall thrive within me.
McScrooge leaped towards the window of his room and flung the shutters open. He leaned towards the street outside and shouted,
Boy!
Yes, sir?
What day is it today?
It's Christmas. It's Christmas Day, sir.
It's still Christmas. Then I haven't missed it.
McScrooge had never felt this joy before, and danced a little jig around his room. He felt free at last, free of all the bitterness, free of all the worry, and most of all, free of the hauntings from his old partner Marley and those three spirits. He certainly was glad to be alive for today, Christmas Day, and he planned to enjoy it whatever the odds. And soon he was in his best suit, and twirling his favourite old walking stick, and parading himself along the streets, wishing every passer-by,
Merry Christmas to you, and you, and you too.
McScrooge had never felt better. He rushed along the streets of Dublin, where he eventually bumped into his nephew Fred. It was time to do some Christmas shopping, McScrooge decided, with a cheeky, rosy grin on his face. And soon thereafter, the two men had finished buying up half of the niceties and gifts in the windows along Moore Street. What a bounty, McScrooge thought. And now it was time to pay some old friends a visit.
And who could that be on Christmas Day, huh?
Better not be that postman looking for a handout, that's all I'll say. Here, put another drop in that, will you? Tell him we're all austeritied out here this Christmas.
Uncle McScrooge, what are you doing here?
Merry Christmas to all me old friends. And you thought you'd seen the last of me?